And then we're into the slide solo. Now this slide solo is just fantastic. Rory Gallagher was a master at slide guitar. It's pretty full on, but what we're going to do, we're going to take tiny little chunks of it, little phrases, and you can treat each phrase as something special to work on, and you can steal it and use it in your own slide ideas. The first little phrase does this. So, a great little phrase. Remember, all of this is 99.9% an A minor pentatonic. The first phrase goes up to the 21st fret on the G string and the 20th fret on the B string. And you've got to do that thing we did earlier where you twist it at an angle and you've got to cover both notes. I'll do it again. So you slide into it. So that's the main, you want to really vib that 20th fret on the B string. So that's coming down to the 19, to the 17, to the 15, to the 13. The next phrase does this. So this is a lovely little phrase. It's got a little skip to it. It starts on the 14th fret of the G down to the 12th fret of the G, down to the 14th fret of the D and back up to the 12th fret of the G. So you get... I'll do it again. It's got a little kind of skip to it. And that last part of it is coming down on the D string, 14th fret down to the 12th, down to the A string on the 12th, down to the 10th fret of the D, and back up to the 12th fret of the D. So you put those two phrases together very slowly. And with our first phrase, very nice. Next phrase does this. So this is on the D string. We're going 12, 14 on the D, up to the 12 on the G. Slide that away. Then we've got a slide up to the 7th fret on the D. 3 of those. So that's a little slide down to the 5th fret on the D, down to the 7 on the A, and back to that 5 on the D. And slide it away. So put those two phrases together, you get next phrase does this. So this starts on the 7th fret of the D. It's just, that 7th fret on the D is your bouncing point. You're starting from. So I'm going up to the G, starting from the 9 down to the 7, and then the 5 up to the 7, but bouncing from that 7 on the D. So there's the 7 on the D, and then slide down, bounce. Very nice. And then you've got a cool little idea that does this. So this is starting on the B string, B3, to the open E string. Then we go 3, 5, 8. Just like that. So a little die away. And there's our next note. We're going to the root note on the 10th fret of the B. So let me put that in context with the other phrase. It's pretty tricky to go from there to there. You've got to get that open string on the open E string. There's a lot of muting going on. My whole hand is across the whole guitar to stop all the other strings ringing. But it's a lovely little phrase. And there was the next phrase I played right there. So you can, if you see the path, it's just a pentatonic. So there's our first 10th fret on the B down to the 8th fret of the B. And then you've got the 9 on the G landing on the 8 of the B. So you get. So then we go down to the G and the D string. So that's starting from the 9 on the G, this is on the G string, from the 9 down to the 7. There's our root on the 7 on the D. Down from the 7 to the 5. So it's easier to see it in context. And with our previous phrase, the next idea does this. Now this is a lovely, lovely lick. It's quite tricky, but it's very cool. You're going up to, this is a position 1 pentatonic and position 5 pentatonic. Slide into the, this is the 17th fret on the B. Bound to the 15th fret on the E. And then you've got both those notes at the same time on the 17, on the E and the B. One more time. It's a great lick in itself. And that goes up to just simply down the pentatonic. E string on the 20th fret, down to the 17, down to the 15, 17, 15 on the B, slide into that 13 on the B, and resolve it on the G string on the 14. Very nice. The next phrase does this. So this starts on the D string on the 14th fret, going 12, 14 on the G and slide it away. Then we got this run. And that is, again, going up our usual path, all pentatonic. That's 14 on the D, going 12 on the G, 14 on the G, up to the 17 on the G. You get... There's a little lick. So that's 14 down to the 12 on the G. Catch the 14 on the D, back up to the 12. Put that together, you get... That's coming down to the D string now, 14, 12, 10. Back up to the 12. 10 on the D, down to the A string now. Put it in context, we get. Those last two notes are really nice. It's got like a blues scale. You got. So that's an A note on the A string on the 12th fret, going to the 13th fret of the D, which is a flat 5. It's a blues scale. So here's the next phrase. Does this. Great phrase. This starts with sliding in on the G and the B up to the 17th fret and try and hybrid pick it. So it's a double stop idea, and I'm using the pick for the G string and my second finger for the B string, and you get. And that's coming up 14th fret on the D to the 12th fret of the G, to the 14th fret of the G, up to the, well, this little, it's kind of a slide in, so you're sliding from the 16 to the 17 of the G. And then you want to slide it away by hitting the D string on the 14. So, in context, very slowly, you get. And up to speed. See, that's a good stealer. You've got to steal that one. Next phrase does this. Okay, this is all an A minor pentatonic. Starts on the 7th fret of the D. It's just all on the D and the G string. It goes up to the 5 on the G, up to the 7 on the G, up to the 9 on the G. So you get. And then we've got this lovely sort of almost like a sliding into note and sliding away. You're aiming for around about the 12th fret. He doesn't quite hit the 12th fret on the G. It's sort of around. So around there, but if you aim for the 12, it's going to sound safe. And that last part of the phrase is on the G, 7 to 5. And you've got to bounce from that 7 on the D. And down to the 2nd fret, open string to the 2nd fret. And slide it away. So very slowly you get from both phrases together. And in context you get.